Welcome, everybody. We are live again today. It's Friday, weekend time. I was watching Ty Lopez one time on a live. For those of you that don't know who he is, he's the one of the original personal brand guys. He was selling courses on how to do internet marketing. And he said that he felt bad for people that really loved when it was Friday because he had his own business. And to him, there was no Sunday night despair or Monday morning pit in his stomach, like a lot of people who have normal 9 to 5 jobs have. And it stuck with me. And when I heard him say that, I also wanted to blaze my own trail and I wanted to rid myself of those feelings. Today's show is about what to do when clients ask for pet safe cleaning and how to avoid a very costly mistake. Now, what's great about the Remote Cleaning CEO Collective, that's our private group for members. I see all the members here that are coming on. Hi, guys. I'll say hi in a minute. I want to get this thought out. The Remote Cleaning CEO Collective, it's a private community on Discord that I put together. We have some really great people in there. These are people that have become members of Rags to Riches University in some fashion. They either joined the program where they get the training, or they join the program where me and my team come in and help them build the business directly. And in the group, there are really great questions every day that people pose. Scott had posed this question today or yesterday about what to do when someone asks for pet safe cleaning. And I thought to myself, you know what? I know there are a lot of other people that are wondering the same thing. So I'm going to do a deep dive today and I'm going to tell you what I do, and then you can make of it what you will. But before I do that, I want to say hi to everybody. Annette's here. Annette's my mom. Love you. You're always here first. Thank you for supporting me. I see McKay's here. Hey, he says, good morning, Annette. My mom's becoming internet famous now, YouTube famous. Everybody's saying hi to her. Everybody say hi to my mom when you check it. I know she'd love it, and I think it's really funny, and it makes for a good start to the show. Eddie's here. Eddie, I answered you, Eddie, yesterday on Instagram. I sent you a quick message. If you want to have a chat about it, call me and we'll discuss. Rick Benson's always here, and Lindsay, of course, is always here. If you haven't yet liked and followed and subscribed, do all the things. It helps spread the message. We have a guest today. He is a total stranger, but he messaged me on Instagram, and he had some questions about things. Actually, I think he was on the show a while back when I first started to have guests. He's got an update. What he wanted to do was, and Taj, make sure you find him on my Instagram DM. He built his own website. He wanted me to critique it for him. And I don't normally do those things for non-members because it just takes too long and I have too many requests. But I said, if you want to do it live on the show, it'll make for a good show segment. I'll have you up. So he agreed to that. We'll have him on later. For those of you that are new to the show that don't know me, my name is John Margalit, and I'm the founder of Happy Home Helpers, a 7-figure remote cleaning business that made over $1.5 million last year in 2025. And this year, we're doing fantastic. We're gonna go right through 2 million here in 2026, and this is only my 4th year in business, so it's relatively fast. I'm also the creator of Rags to Riches University, which you see right here. And it's where I teach aspiring entrepreneurs how to start a remote cleaning business. And I also have a ton of students that have a cleaning business and they want to learn how to grow their cleaning business. Maybe they feel stuck at $5 or $10 or $15, $20,000 a month. And I do this through a very unique lens and systems that really is proprietary because I come from this background where I was brought into a tech startup on Wall Street. And it wasn't the kind of position that you would apply for. It was a friend of a friend, and he knew one of the founders, and they were telling him that they really wanted to grow. They had this great product. And he said, I think my friend John can help you. I ended up there in New York City, and I had the time of my life, but I also was building somebody else's dream. So I did learn how to fine tune high performing sales teams and people and customer acquisition systems, which is the key to growing any business. Make no mistake about it. So when you work with me, I show you how to do that. I show you how to get customers. I show you how to make money. And enough of the fluff and whatever else. Systems are important. You need them or you're going to go crazy and you won't be able to scale. But if you want to learn how to make money with a cleaning business, then join the program or just show up here every day and I'll try to give you as much as I can. Just right here live. Felix, good to see you again. And he says hi to my mom. Felix is so funny. Thank you, Felix. Annette, you're getting a lot of shout outs here. I've been featured in Entrepreneur Magazine and Yahoo Finance, and my cleaning business was named the best cleaning service in Las Vegas by City Council just right at the end of 2025 or the beginning of 2026 recently. And everybody loves a good proof check. I do this again. I always say I'm not doing this to flex. I'm doing this just to show everybody that I am who I say I am, and I actually generate the kind of revenue that people aspire to generate. I'm not somebody who comes up here and just talks about it. I hope that you can see that and feel that through the passion I bring and the results that I show you and maybe the expertise that I demonstrate. But for the proof check section, let's check it out. It's been a little bit of a slow day, I think. Everybody knows I love to say that every time. It's been a slow day, but let's check out the numbers. All right. So I'm gonna share screen with you, and I'm looking at Jobber right now. I'm gonna log out, so I do it fresh. I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna share my screen. Everybody knows Jobber is the only tool. I would use ZenMaid also. I'm not gonna be biased here. I am a full disclosure. I'm a brand partner with Jobber. I create content for them, and I was a speaker at the Jobber Summit. I've been on their podcast several times, and I love the team. I love the product. It helps me run the business. It's the hub of my business operations. It's fantastic. Here's the Jobber sign-in screen. I'm just going to do this in real time. There's no AI or fake nonsense here. I'm going to log in. You're going to see my dashboard. It's going to say, hi, John. Good afternoon, John, whatever it says. Friday, April 13th. Ooh, it's Friday the 13th. Spooky. Let's go to the report section right here on the left-hand side menu. I zoomed in so you could see it. And the most telling report is the transaction report, because it shows you how many transactions you did and how much money came in. And this is credit cards only. So we do take a lot of Zelle payments, a lot of checks from, I wouldn't say a lot of checks, it's risky, but from regular customers and Zelle and Venmo. And so anyway, I'm going to zoom in on this transaction report here. And keep in mind that the default setting is 30 days. It shows you the last 30 days. This is credit card alone. I'm going to just scroll down here and I'm going to zoom in. This number here is tips. You don't have to worry about that. But it's showing here $156,831. It's probably closer to 175,000, maybe even 180,000 because of all the other forms of payment. But for credit card sake alone, this is the results for the last 30 days. Not bad, not bad. And then for yesterday, we're going to do a check because we didn't finish checking at the end of the day. I always like to look back. Whoops. I'm going to do a custom range. I did that wrong. I'm going to do Thursday the 2nd and the end date, Thursday the 2nd. I'm going to zoom in so everybody can see what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to filter it. And yesterday was a decent day. 5,222 in credit cards alone. And today I'll scroll through here. It's Friday Friday the 3rd, not the 13th. 3rd, I meant. And then I'm going to filter again. And today it is 12:10 p.m. About half the day is gone, not even, and we have $4,510. If you want results like this, now I can't guarantee that everybody's going to get these exact results. I've been at it for 4 years, but I can guarantee that if you follow my systems and you come to class every week and you stay engaged, that you're going to get very good results. The success rate is very high in my program. There are a lot of people that are going through it and they're really making some serious income. I'm really proud to say that I get messages periodically. I would like to say they come in often, but I'm being realistic. They come in periodically from people that say that they're leaving their jobs because their cleaning business has made them more money than their job or equal amount, and they want to pursue it to really, really grow it full time. I'm really proud of that. And if you want to work with me, you want my help teaching you how to do this business, or if you have a cleaning business and you really want to grow it, the first way you can work with me is the Remote Cleaning CEO Accelerator. It's the operating system I use to generate all this revenue hands-free. In fact, let's note that the revenue was $4,510. We'll come back at the end of the show. We'll check it again. Most likely it'd have gone up while I'm here with you live because I have a team of remote contractors, virtual assistants, if you will, that run the entire business for me. They do all the recruiting, they do the hiring, they do the onboarding, they help with retention with cleaners and clients. I have a great group. We've just grown to 8 people, and it's fantastic. The girls are great. They actually do a lot of the training. And if you talk to the members of the group, they love Tasha and Teresa and Shania. They do an amazing job training. They've become experts in this business. And I hate to say it, but day-to-day operating, I think that they're probably even better than I am at this point because they do it every day. And I'm working more on the marketing and the big picture. But, I taught them everything they know. All right. But I'm very lucky to have them. Now, if you want my training program, the pricing models, the hiring systems, sales scripts, all the things, and you want to work, you want to be in the community, and you can get that. Plus, I give you the blueprint. That is the Remote Cleaning CEO Accelerator. Right now, it's $997 for less than $1,000. You can get it. If you want me to be hands-on and you want to be with Shania and Teresa and the whole team and Anya and Anika, all of them, and you want to shadow them for an entire week and then just go replicate everything you see, and you want them to train you on top of that, and you want me to train you and show you how to do this, we call it the Founder Intensive. It's a 90-day build program. The results are phenomenal. You don't just get the information. You get everything in the Remote Cleaning CEO Accelerator. You're part of the community. But you get me and my team to implement for you and with you with great precision. I mean, we go in there and we really, really make this thing blow up as big as you'd like. Some people like to stay at $10,000 a month in income. Some people don't want any more of that. They don't want to grow a big business. They just want to pay their bills and have a nice, comfortable life. That's totally fine. You can do what you want. I'm going to bring in a guest on Tuesday, Nicole from Posh Cleaning. I've mentioned her before. Started working with her about 1.5 years ago. We met at the Jobber Summit. She was an attendee, and she'll go over 2 million this year as well. And she adopted all of my systems, and that's why she's had such explosive growth. But before I met her, she was very talented and was a good entrepreneur anyway. I'm not going to take all the credit, but definitely her business changed when we started to get together, and she saw what I was doing and copied me. She learned from all the girls too, and it was great. So if you're serious about this, you can't go on my website and find this. Not yet. You have to email me, Taj, if you could put it up on the screen, please. JON@johnmargalit.com. That would be great. You can email me. You can apply. I'll send you the application. You can fill it out, and then I'll let you know if you qualify. If you're in my group, you get automatic entrance, but I can only work with 6 people per quarter because I just don't have enough bandwidth to get to everybody. And that's why the program is expensive. All right. For a limited time, and I'm not just saying this as an urgency tactic, it's $8,997. I'm very transparent. It's going to go up. I haven't decided if I'm going to cap it at 12 or 15 for right now, but I just realized that everybody that's going through it is making this kind of money every month, and it just doesn't make sense anymore to give it away for half of what the earning potential can be in a month. It just doesn't make any sense. And I would like to work with fewer people so I can give them more of myself and my team. So if you have any questions or you want to apply, email me, john@johnmargalit.com. Very transparent. And I always begin the show the same way. After I tell you how you can work with me, I want everyone to know why I'm here before I dive into the topic. And this is an important topic today. This is a major threat to a business. I want to be clear about that. This can put you out of business, quite literally. The people that show up every day, they know I'm addicted to the soda waters with no sugar. My God. And of course, I have my branded coffee mug. All right. I probably have too much caffeine, but I want people to know exactly why I'm here. I want to be clear. If you're one of those people that tunes in or your first time and you can't stand your job and you're tired of just trading your time for a freaking paycheck, you have to rely on somebody else to pay your bills. They can let you go at any time. The company could go under. They could BK. A number of things can happen. And I know from experience that those things are out of your control. So if you're tired of building someone else's dream and not having real control over your life, real control over your finances and your time and your location, and you don't know what to do, or you don't feel like you have any viable, real options. I've been exactly where you are and what you're feeling right now. I felt, and thank God I built my way out of it with a very simple remote cleaning business. I just showed you the results. And now my goal is to help you do the same. It's unbelievably fulfilling for me. And it's not just about potential, not the potential of starting a business alone. It's also about what the experience of being free does to you and your soul. You become a different kind of person. I've seen the transformations. You become way more confident. You have way more clarity, more decisiveness, more capabilities. And most of all, you're much more resilient. And that way you can create real financial freedom and real time freedom in your life. Everybody knows that I share my ideas and my honest perspectives about mindset, sales, marketing, decision-making, and problem solving. Because those are the things that you actually need to think and act like somebody who can build their own future. And just as important as the tactics, I want this show to be a daily reminder. And every time you tune in, I want you to think to yourself and remember that transformation is possible. And you're not crazy for wanting more. In fact, if you're crazy, I'm crazy too. You're not alone in the journey. There's a bunch of people that tune in. I see Jens is here, Scott Taylor. This show was based on his question. He's in the group. A lot of people are in the group. I love you guys for showing up. Brianna's here. Rick Benson's here. Growth Hub's here. And I want to ask you guys a question, because real transformation always starts with a decision. You have to choose. So I ask you, if you don't change anything, if you just keep doing what you're doing every day, you will blink your eyes and 1, 2, 5, 10 years will go by sometimes. McKay said yesterday, that's right. That's what happened to him. He was working the oil fields in North Dakota. He blinked his eyes and God knows how many decades went by. Serious. He's in the group right now. This is a real story. I'm not making this up. And he realized something. That in that time, you will likely be in the same place, feeling the same frustration, the same lack of control, and the same resentment towards your job or your life or your loved ones. But here's the good news. If you committed to transforming your life, and you really, really committed, just you went all in, there's a real chance that in much less than 5 years, you could be exactly where you want to be. So here's the real question. You have to decide what hurts more. Continuing to endure a job or a situation that you hate or know is a dead end, or enduring the discomfort of pursuing freedom and building something of your very own. Because the truth that most people avoid, everybody knows it, that the pain of staying the same has no upside. It just repeats. But the pain of trying to change, of building, learning, of failing and trying again, it at least gives you a real chance at a better life. The topic of the show today is what to do when clients ask for pet-safe cleaning and how to avoid this costly mistake. I say it because I say it with grave danger. That's how dangerous this is. I mean, I don't know about you, but I love my pets. In fact, let me see if she's here. I'm going to introduce you guys. Hey, Nancy, you want to meet people? She's probably in my bed right now, sleeping. All right, well, I'm going to leave the door cracked in case she wants to come in. We have a dog. Her name is Nancy. Hopefully she'll be here and we'll introduce you. But what if I told you one simple request from a customer could put your entire business, your bank account, and even your home, if you own one, at risk? And the craziest part is that most cleaning business owners say yes to it without even thinking. So today I'm going to show you exactly why Pet safe cleaning is one of the most dangerous requests you can accept, and how to handle it the right way without losing the client, without losing the business. Before we get into it, I want to say this clearly. I have to disclose, I am not an attorney, and this is not legal advice. What I am sharing with you is how I run my business, Happy Home Helpers. And after processing millions of dollars in revenue, dealing with thousands of clients, I have an email list going towards 7,000 people now. Real situations and real risk. And this is serious, because this isn't about cleaning anymore. This is about liability. This is about protecting everything you've built. Now, let me bring this down to a human level for a second. I've got Nancy. I've got my dog. She's not just a dog. She's family. Every morning at 5:30 a.m., my wife takes her to the park. I go sometimes too. And sometimes we take her back again at 1 p.m. because we know she's bored. We just hate seeing her depressed and laying around the house. Then we bring her to my mom's house later in the day. She's part of our routine and just a huge part of our life. And if something ever happened to her, we'd be completely devastated. And if you're watching this and you have a pet, you already know that feeling. So now flip that perspective. You walk into someone's home, you clean, or your cleaners clean. And later that day or the next day, their dog gets sick, or God forbid, even worse, even if it had nothing to do with you. Who do you think they're going to look at first? You? Your company? Your cleaner? That's the risk. So I want to talk about why pet safe cleaning, I should say, is a liability trap. You're being asked to guarantee safety for a living being. That is impossible to prove or control. Even pet safe labeled products can cause allergic reactions. They can be misused. They can interact with other substances in the home. The moment you accept responsibility, you open the door to blame. And the real risk is blame by elimination. Here's how this actually plays out in real life. Something happens to a pet. The owner starts asking, what changed? What's different in the environment? And then they land on, the cleaners were just here. That's it. That's all it takes. Even if it's a coincidence, you're now in the conversation. This is my non-negotiable. Take it or leave it. This is how I run my business. If a client wants pet safe cleaning, they provide the products, period. Why? Because it removes you from the chain of liability. You didn't choose the chemicals. You didn't supply them. You didn't make the claim. You simply used what the client provided and requested. Now let's break this down simply. Let's talk about what an LLC actually does. As Scott says, I'm convinced there's something in LaCroix. Actually, this is bubbly. I have the LaCroix too, Scott. I have both here. I have coffee. God. Scott, I think he's right. Something is in the LaCroix. But let's talk about what an LLC does. Again, I'm not an attorney. An LLC separates business assets from personal assets. That's the definition, really, of the main thing that it does for you. That's why it stands for limited liability company. It protects your home if you own it. Most people's home is a liability. They don't understand that because they bought the home, but the bank owns the home until they pay it off. So it's a liability. But let's say you own your home. Your personal bank accounts, the money in there, your personal investments in the stock market or wherever else you've got them. What it does not protect against is personal negligence, reckless behavior, and situations where courts can do what's called pierce the corporate veil. What does piercing the corporate veil mean? This is when a court says your LLC doesn't protect you here because you didn't act responsibly. Now, this can happen if you ignore known risks, you misrepresent your services, if you operate carelessly, and if you don't follow basic safety practices. So if you say, yes, we can come, even if you don't say we guarantee pet safe cleaning, even if you just said, we're going to come and we're going to provide pet safe cleaning supplies. We're going to do a pet safe cleaning. And then something happens, you've just taken on a level of responsibility that could come back on you personally. Now, you might be thinking, what if I buy special products that are marked pet safe? And believe me, I get the temptation. You want to provide a great experience. You don't want to cause friction. You're probably thinking, I want to make it easy. I want to close the sale. And that's normally the correct way to think. That's why I offer fixed pricing. When you have a menu and you ask the customer if they want to add this, if they want to add that, do they want to deep clean in the oven? All you're doing is causing the customer to make decisions. There's something called decision fatigue. All of that process causes friction. When you call Happy Home Helpers, we ask if you want a standard clean, a deep clean, a move-out clean, a post-construction clean. I just lump it all in and I price it high. Clarity, clear. But I get the temptation. This is different. This is not add-on services. This is not anything to do with pricing structure or upsells. This is risk management. And the risk outweighs the reward big time. And risk management is such an important part of being a good business owner. A lot of people operate in fear and they avoid risk. I'll tell you something, a personal experience. I own a property in Hollywood. I was fortunate enough to buy this property, and my uncle and I own it together. Now, my uncle is old. He's approaching 80. He wants to avoid risk at all costs, even if it means not making a profit. As soon as there's a little thing arising, he wants to call the lawyers. He wants to spend money on them. He'll do anything to avoid risk. I'm young, so my risk profile is much lower. And I keep trying to teach him doing good, but he's a musician, by the way. He's a very talented piano player. He's a musician, so he's not a business guy, but that's why I run the show. And if he were running it, we would make no money. But we have a big cash flow coming in because I know how to manage the risk, not avoid it. And in this situation, the risk clearly outweighs the reward. Now, I want to remind you guys, I have a guest. Taj, can you send me a note, please? Is the guest ready to come up? As soon as I finish this segment, I will bring up the guest if he's here. Let me know, Taj. I'm looking for you to drop me a note. Now, let me finish my thoughts here on my talking points. Let me explain to you, I don't always just identify the problems. I give you solutions. Let me give you the exact words on what I say to clients so you know how to frame it without losing the sale. If you need to get your notepad out or you can watch the replay of this later, it's fine. Here's what I say and how I frame it. We want to completely understand. Let me start again. How about this? We completely understand wanting a safe environment for your pet. We feel the same way about ours. But for that reason, we ask that you provide any specific products you'd like us to use. That way, we're using exactly what you trust and what you're comfortable with. Now, when you say that, you are backing it up with logic, you're being respectful, you're being relatable, and you're being firm. That's how you handle a client. That's exactly what you say. And when you do that, whether it's over a text or a phone call or an email, if you use those words, you will never lose a sale. In fact, the client will end up trusting you more. The client will end up respecting you. So, Scott, if you're listening still, that's how you do it. All right. I got a couple of what is cold fogging? Oh, that's a good question. In fact, maybe I'll have Nicole answer that because she's the one who does it. Did you see it on her site? Cold fogging is a way to, it's a special machine. And what it does is it treats the air and surfaces to eliminate airborne germs and contaminants. That's my off the top of my head definition, but it is something to that effect. I don't offer it, but Nicole does, and she does it a lot, and I'll have her tell you. It's a great upsell. I probably should offer it, but for whatever reason, I don't. I'll tell you why I don't. I try to stay away from having the people in the field needing equipment that you can't just go to Walmart and buy. Most of the cleaners go to the dollar store, they go to Dollar General, they go to, whatever it is, and they pick up their supplies. The only machine that I have out in the field that I supply is the carpet cleaning machine. I give it to certain teams and certain cleaners that I know I can trust, and that's a huge moneymaker. I use the Bissell Big Green Clean machine, and I buy the commercial one. The thing's a beast. It's portable, and you could fold it up. It'll fit in any back seat, and it can make you a ton of money. It's about $400, $500, but boy, you can make that back in a day. Clean mattresses, upholstery. We do it all with one machine. Easy to use. Has one trigger button. That's it. All right. Now, Taj, do we have the guests here? I want to see if I don't see him in the waiting room. Is he there? I think he is, actually. All right. We'll bring him up in a second. Finish my thought here. This applies beyond pets, by the way. Same rule for green cleaning. Any requests that say, I want green products, any requests that say, I don't want you to use any chemicals or harsh chemicals. I want organic products only. If anybody says anything like that, tell them no problem, but you have to provide it. If they're specific about product requirements, they need to provide the products. And now you know what to say to them. I don't want to pronounce this right, Munash here with me. Did I pronounce that correctly? It's very dark. I can't see you very well. Is there any way to lighten it up for the audience?
All right, John. As usual, I was driving,
Yeah,
so I had to find a car park to park. But let me try and
that's okay.
go where there is light. I think it can be better.
That's better. Now I see some lights. Munash, what's your cleaning business website? Let me pull it up for the audience. I'll put it on my screen.
All right.
Give me the URL. What's the website name?
It's Greater Manchester. Greater Manchester Cleaning.
Manchester Cleaning.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember. I went right to it. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. We're going to get smaller, but the screen will get bigger. Taj, if you could obviously help with this, that'd be great. This is Greater Manchester Cleaning. Now, before I do this, I want to make sure, Munash, that you accept the potentially harsh criticism. Are you okay with that?
Obviously, that's the reason why I'm here.
All right, great. I'm going to go in and I'm going to analyze this thing. All right. I'm going to do this in 1 minute. And if you're watching, this is going to be a education on what your website needs to gain trust from website visitors that don't know you. So that way, if you're running an ad or somebody Googles you and they land on your site, they're going to decide in 1 to 3 seconds whether they're going to click out and go to someone else's site or whether they're going to stay, read a little bit, and potentially book an appointment with you. Now, right away, I see that there are no humans above the fold. I say above the fold because before you can start scrolling down like that, this is called the hero section. Now, I'm going to start with what is good about this. Professional and reliable cleaning services you can trust. That's good. The only thing wrong with that, oh, I see it. Top rated cleaning in Greater Manchester. Okay. I didn't have the location, but I noticed it after. I would put it in the headline. Now, I'm looking here. I see no humans. I see a room. It looks like a very high-end living room or office sort of setting. But I see the drapes and maybe it's a home. I do like this fully insured, fully vetted, cleaners, satisfaction guaranteed, local GM team. This is good. Book a cleaning, get a free quote, call us. All right. I like to send 2 messages, 2 call to actions. Get a free quote or call us. So it's either a form fill or a call. I don't let anybody book an appointment on my website. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to be real clear. Everybody wants automation and they want to make it easy on themselves and they don't want to pay humans. And for everybody that does that in Las Vegas, in my market, I am going to continue to eat their lunch. There's nothing like a human touch. And it'll be that way for a while. So I wouldn't let anybody book because if you do that, let's go through this process here. Okay. Book now. And okay, so maybe is the site not done yet? Because I was expecting a calendar or something.
All right, it's still in the process whereby I need the correction before we go live on it.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say. Above the fold, you want to see humans. You don't want to see a clean room because this is a trust, very intimate business. They want to get an idea of who might be coming. All right. So you want human element above the fold. You want your number to be a click to call. If I click this, is it going to initiate a call? It does, but you want it up here in the top right corner. All right. You want it to look just like this. Call now and change color. So there's only 2 ways to go. They're both contacting me. You put your information in and we call you, or you click here and you call now. And you see nothing but humans, even in the background. Everybody makes this mistake. They put a clean room, does not do any trust building. All right.
Okay.
So
yes,
that's above the fold. Now, if we scroll down, I see fake pictures and immediately it hits me. No trust. I'm not sure if this is real or not. And I'm just scrolling down. Why choose us? Okay, this is the same as what I saw here. I remember. That's good. It's okay to reinforce it. Smooth. How it works. 1, 2, 3. Okay, no problem with that. That's fine. What our clients say, some social proof. Get a free quote. WhatsApp us. Okay, so look, all in all, not terrible, but it's lacking that human element. That's the one thing I would get dialed in. And I would do it so you don't have to scroll to find it. And I would eliminate any fake pictures. Fake pictures do not convert. And I would have the phone number here and I would have a form to fill out. People come, I'll tell you why. People come to websites and they're not ready to call sometimes in the moment. They're browsing and they're thinking about it. They want to call when they're ready, or they just want to fill out a form and they want somebody to call them. Any questions about that?
All right. Okay. The first reason why maybe there are those fake photos that you're seeing is because it's just a business that is starting. I don't have any job that I've done yet. Yes. So
okay.
I remember last time.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. No, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead and finish.
I remember the last time I asked you the same question when I came live on the show. You said you can create using, if you don't have, I asked you, can I do free cleanings so that I can get reviews and photos? And he said, no, there is another way that you can do it. Maybe creating using Nano Banana, it might do. But when I went to do some examples, yes, it was almost close, but still, maybe it's me who didn't do it perfectly. But it wasn't giving that, real
Yeah,
vibe.
real. Let me help you. Make a shot list of the pictures that you want to get. Hire or get a couple of ladies, friends, family, whatever, your aunt, your sister, your cousin, lady friend, whatever. Have them
Mhm.
over, get them those shirts, branded shirts, the polo shirts. Have them pretend like they're cleaning around the house and take pictures with your phone. Don't worry about the lighting. The more raw, the better. If it looks staged, it looks fake, it doesn't build trust. Take a bunch of pictures of
Okay.
them, put them on the site.
Yeah, I get you on that one.
All right. That's the way to
Yes,
do it.
all right. So, another question that I do have on in regards to the website. Obviously, I'm still starting. How best can I sort of like gain the market over the ones that are already dominant and we have got the social proof?
Yeah. The way that you do that is you have to have, I talked about this yesterday, I believe, or the day before. You have to have a short-term strategy and a long-term strategy. You're not going to catch them right away. Okay. But in the
Yeah.
meantime, your way of catching them is to not do what they're doing. If they allow people to book on their website, you need to make people call so you can differentiate and let people experience how good your customer service is. That's the only way you're going to be able to compete with these people right away, is by an incredible experience. And if you run ads the same way they do, even if you just have 4 or 5 positive reviews, you're still going to get people to call you. So, number 1, short-term play is to run ads. Long-term play is search engine optimization so you can catch up to them in the organic rankings. Third, don't think about it the way you're thinking about it. I'll tell you why. You're going to start to believe for no reason at all that you're not going to be able to compete with them because you're new. That is a poisonous way to think. If you're trying to provide a really good service and you have good cleaners and you have some decent reviews at even more than 5 or 7, maybe 10, hopefully, you're going to be just fine. A lot of people are in the market because they need a cleaner now, and they're not as concerned about somebody who has 25 reviews versus somebody who has 8. If the reviews are positive and they interact with you or somebody at your company and you provide great clarity, the experience is good, they call you, pick up right away, you don't put them on hold, you're available. Those are the only things that people need to book in this industry. That's why I love cleaning. It doesn't take much to satisfy somebody. Those are really the only things. That's what I did. Be available, be kind, provide excellent customer service, have very clear pricing so people don't have to worry about add-ons or upsells, and have a very clear website. Those basic things will get you going and get money in.
All right. You mentioned something that I wanted to ask you in terms of fixed pricing.
Mhm.
Most cases, especially here in the UK, people do charge fixed prices on Airbnb, deep cleans, but with regular cleaning, mainly they do hourly. I don't know how best can I try. I understood because there was a lesson that you were teaching containing fixed pricing, and I understand what you said. But how do I handle that to change from per hour to a fixed
Yeah.
price? Because someone might say my house just needs maybe 2 hours of clean, right? And if
Yeah.
the price is fixed, they might see like you are overcharging them. Because let's say in most cases the average is £20, £25 an hour, right? If they are doing that, if you charge, let's say, £100 and fixed pricing, somebody might say, no, my house
Let me
wanted maybe £50 or
let me
something like.
cut let me cut you off. I already know. So first of all, I want to be clear. Somebody messaged me yesterday on Instagram and said, I'm in Utah. This market, everybody's really cheap here. Nobody wants to pay top dollar for cleaning. I can't charge these prices. And I immediately sent a message to the guy and I said, you are not special and your market is not special. I hear that from everybody and I always prove them wrong. Offer both, Munash. Give them an option. If they want hourly, give them hourly. I offer both. I just like the fixed pricing because I tell the client, if you go hourly, you have to be mindful of how much time the cleaner is spending. If you just pay a flat rate, we'll come and just get the job done. But I offer both. So if the client says to me, I just need a few things done around the house, I say to them, no problem. I offer the hourly service. This is $68 per hour. You can have the cleaners do whatever you want. Now, here's something tricky that you need to pay attention to. Listen closely, the audience. This is important. When you're selling hourly, if you say to the person that you have a minimum, let's say you have a 3-hour minimum. As soon as you say, I have a minimum time, if somebody thinks what they need is not going to take that long, they're going to disqualify you immediately and they're going to hang up and call someone else. Here's how you do it. You ready?
Yeah.
It's $68 an hour. But we're running a special. You can have a cleaner for up to 3 hours for $188. Now, that's how you say it. That's how you frame it. Now, if the person says, I don't need 3 hours and 188 is really expensive, I just need this and I just need that, here's what you hit them with. If we come to clean your house, even if it's just for an hour, that is a time block that these cleaners that I'm going to send to you cannot go and do cleaning for someone else. There's an opportunity cost. That's why we have a minimum charge, not a minimum time. Don't say we have a minimum of 3 hours. Our minimum to come out to do any job is $188. It doesn't matter if the job is 1 hour or 3 hours. You can have the cleaner up to 3 hours. Remember that saying. And because we have to reserve a time slot for you that we can't reserve for somebody else, we have a minimum charge. These girls go out, and if they only go out for an hour and I only charge someone $68, they're not going to make any money. I'm not going to make any money. And I can't provide a very consistent, high-quality service without a minimum charge. Now, what you've done is you have to be confident, but when you tell somebody something, if you say it confidently and you back it up with logic, just like the pet scenario, if you're logical about it and you tell somebody why you do it, and the reason is to maintain a very high quality and to pay the best cleaners. I mean, can you imagine if you sent a cleaner out and they made it $20 on the job and that was it? And they forewent an opportunity to go clean someone else's house for 4 or 5 hours, you would never be able to keep the cleaners. They would go work somewhere else, right? I have a rule. If cleaners go to an hourly job, because some customers do want hourly, and it takes less than 3 hours, I pay them for 3 hours and I pay them for gas. That's how you keep really good cleaners. You tell them, if you're going to go do, some people call and they say, I just want 2 bathrooms done. And the cleaner goes an hour and 20 minutes and they're done. They get paid for 3 hours, plus I pay $8 per job for gas. That help you a little bit?
Yes, I understand. Now, another question that I do have, yesterday, no, it's not yesterday. There is a day that you were explaining your CRM system and what you use to maintain your business. Obviously, for a new business that has got maybe me or maybe 1 or 2 cleaners, I would want you to, try to put it down to our level, whereby what are the CRM systems that we can use. And mostly when we are beginning like this, we will need something that is maybe free. Then as time goes on, maybe we now have 3-4 cleaners and we now want to put it on slot. We can hire something like Joba or whatever CRM system that we can use. But do you have something that you can recommend for someone who is already starting, who doesn't have all those things?
Of course. There's two ways you can do it. When I started, I didn't have Jobber. I didn't even know tools like that existed. I kept everything on a Google document, and I would share it with the cleaners, and so they could see the notes. I mean, if you want to just get really basic and elementary, Google Doc is a great way to do it, or a Google Sheet, because anybody that's got one of these can log into it for free. So that's the way I ran my business for the first 6 months. We started to get really busy, and then all of a sudden I started to research, like, how do I control all this? And I found these CRM tools. The other way you can do it is Jobber has a free trial. And I believe it's 2 weeks, but I can give you a free month. So if you want to use my code, you can have a free month trial, and that'll give you 30 days to start generating cash to pay for it. I think it's worth it. But you're welcome to take the free month. And then if you don't have enough cash coming in to support the $70 a month or $60 a month that it is, then you could just cancel.
All right. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
But be careful, because I don't know how secure a Google Doc is, and I started to put people's information on it. So I do know that the CRM tools are secure. So there's another thing. I think if you did it a little bit and then deleted it, you'd probably be fine.
Okay, I understand. Now, you mentioned one thing in regards to qualified, not qualified leads, but someone who is ready to offer customers that have already converted. Do you have that person? Does he cover UK, or is just the US?
The person that I have for what now?
The person that you have, that you mentioned, that does marketing, that already gives like qualified customers.
Yep. I'll have to ask him. I know he does North America. I'll ask him if he can do the UK. He might.
All right, it's okay.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not 100% sure, but I will definitely ask him.
All right, it's fine. Yeah, I think that's all that I wanted to ask. Maybe the last question will be, I was talking to someone concerning having a mobile phone and a landline. I thought landline would be more professional, but they said no. For cleaners, they don't want. They want something mobile. They don't want to call in an office or get someone like they're calling an office or something like that. You have a mobile number that goes on WhatsApp and everything. That's how people interact mainly with cleaning companies or with local cleaners. How far true do you think that is?
Minash, I have to ask, how old are you?
28.
You're asking a question that like an 88-year-old would ask. And of course, everything is mobile now. Of course, you can use WhatsApp. Okay. I use QUO. I don't know if it's pronounced Quo. It used to be called Open Phone. It's a simple app. It's inexpensive, and it gives you a business phone system on your personal phone. But if you want to use WhatsApp because it's free, that's fine for a while it's small. It's hard. You can't scale with WhatsApp. It's not built for that, but definitely everything mobile. I mean, this is 2026, right? So absolutely everything has to be mobile, and you have to have a platform where you can share information easily with people in the field, right? And so, by the way, Taj, would you put up, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Would you put up my Jobber, I think it's get.jobber/John Margalit. If anybody wants a month trial, that's how you get it. If you have it, Taj, put it up on the screen. But everything mobile, and when you take client information, you have to make sure that it's accessible quickly. If they call and they reschedule or they want to add something to the notes, you have to be able to get it. And it has to be a living document, not something you save on your hard drive. It has to be something on the web or in the cloud, so your cleaners can see the updates in real time. That's the key.
All right, it's okay. So definitely, maybe I would prefer to use Jobber. Maybe I can do this for a month or two. Once I get things going, I will definitely switch to a CRM system.
Excellent. You know what?
Oh,
I enjoyed you on the show today. Thank you for coming back.
thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good luck, brother. Update me. Let me know how it's going. All right. He's a good guy. He's nice. He asked very good questions. And I like that he took the initiative to try to build his site. I don't recommend that. I recommend having me build it for you if you actually want to make a lot of money and win. Which is a nice segue for me to say that I do build websites. I build cleaning websites only for my clients. If you're a member of the build program, it comes with it. A website's really important. It's 2026. If you want strangers to trust you, if you want to instill confidence in your prospective customers, have a professional website with a human touch, with all the conversion elements. A website is not to inform people. It's not to let someone book an appointment. Your website is to turn site visitors into paying customers. Your website is a cash machine. If you don't see it that way, you're looking at it wrong. It should be producing tons and tons of cash. That's what we build. All right. I see some questions here. Let's see. Rick Benson says, John, from your website, does your form the client fills out, send the info to your email or Jobber? Great question, Rick. Email. It sends it to my email. I don't want it sending it to Jobber. You can do that with Zapier. All right. You can connect them. I wouldn't recommend it. All right. And then Scott says, Rick, I think it sends the email. Yeah, Scott's right. But Scott's also, I think Scott's an engineer. So he knows these things. All right. Continuing on, great guest. I'm really glad he came on. That was really, really brave of him to do that. Show his website, take the critique. Not bad for doing it yourself. Not horrible. Not good though. I'll tell you that. That's not gonna cut it. You're not gonna run ads to a website like that and convert people. This just doesn't work. It's 2026. It's too much competition. You got to be dialed in. All right. Now, while there aren't widely publicized landmark cases specific to pet cleaning, there are some in home services that I was able to locate through research, just historical legal cases. I wanted a reference point to demonstrate that something real happened. So what I notated was that customers did sue service providers after pets became ill or died. That has happened. Claims were based on chemical exposure, negligence, and failure to warn. All right, that's what I gleaned from those articles that I read, those cases. Chemical exposure, negligence, and failure to warn. The memory of an elephant. Even when the businesses weren't ultimately found liable, they still faced a ton of legal fees, stress, and reputation damage. If you ever go to sell your business, there's something very valuable called goodwill. That goodwill is to be interpreted as the way that the public views your company and your brand. If you tarnish or stain your brand with a lawsuit that is public record, it's not very good for your resale value. All right, that's the real lesson. You don't need to lose the case to lose. That's what I'm trying to say. You could still get in a heap of trouble and spend tons of money trying to defend yourself and keep your brand clean. Don't get in that situation. It's not worth it. All right, let's get up the quote of the day. We have quote of the day. Now, I thought this was pretty cool. All right. Some of you might know this, some of you might not. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to do a quick screen share, but first, Taj, if you could put the quote of the day, that would be great because it has a personal tie. I have a very close personal tie to this. Warren Buffett said, but those of you that don't know Warren Buffett, he's the third or fourth richest guy in the entire world. He's the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. Actually, he just stepped down. He said, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. All right. Perfect example. Keep the quote up, please. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Case in point, when somebody says, do you have green products? Do you have pet safe products? You provide them. Now, before I do a deeper dive into what Warren Buffett is talking about, I want to share something. All right. Let me share my screen. For those of you that don't know, I was very, very fortunate to meet Warren, to hang out with Warren for a number of years. I got to visit him, and we had a good time. We had a very close relationship. And Warren, actually, the first time I met him, we were sitting in his office. I'll tell you guys more about this later, but he literally took out his wallet and he went like that. And I started laughing. I kind of got uncomfortable. I'm like, Warren, what are you doing? He's like, hold my wallet. And I said, why? And he said, it'll bring you good luck. And when we're done talking, you can give it back to me. I was like, oh, all right. I was like, this is one of the fattest wallets in the entire world. I'm going to hold on to it for a little while. He's a funny guy. He's very warm. And I'll share with you guys. I just put some of these on a slide. I'll share this with you. And this is me and Warren in his, let's put it up on the screen. Taj, can you make sure there we go. Can you guys see this? Get some feedback here. Yeah, Warren's nearly 100 years old. That's right. He's very old. He drinks Coke every day because he owns it. All right. Can you guys see that? Can I get some, somebody confirm that you can see it? I put stuff up from time to time, and then people tell me afterward they couldn't see it. Can everybody see Warren and I? This is me and Warren at his country club. This was some years ago. He wasn't quite 98 or 99 yet. Okay. You can see it. Who's that handsome devil? Thank you, Scott. This is me and Warren, and this is me and Warren in his office. If you look over Warren's right shoulder, that's Warren's father. It's a picture of Warren's late father. This is me and him in Omaha at the Berkshire headquarters. And then this is another picture of us. Oh, yeah, here's a different year. It got blurry. But anyway, this is me and Warren. I got to visit him again in his office. And then this is another picture of me and Warren in his office again. That's usually where we met, or he took me for lunch or dinner at the club. And what I thought was such a great moment, I'll never forget, besides the wallet, Warren said, he called in Debbie, his secretary, and he said, Debbie, take a picture. And I said, what are you doing? He said, tell all your friends I'm giving you secret stock tips. And I thought it was really funny. This is a total joke. He's just playing around. He's a funny guy. Anyway, those are some of my pictures with Warren. I'll do an episode on that. I'll tell the stories. But I got lucky. I got to meet and develop a relationship with Warren. He's full of wisdom. He's very funny, and he comes in and he gives a big hug. He's just a great guy. Moving right along, just a little tidbit about Warren and what Warren said when he talked about the risk of not knowing what you're doing. I think most people hear that and they think, learn more skills. That would be like a logical response to Warren's quote. But in business, this is about understanding consequences. If you don't understand liability and risk exposure and legal structure, you'll make decisions that feel small but carry massive downside. The smartest operators aren't just chasing revenue, they're protecting it. I think Warren's one of the best all time, if not the best all time, at protecting it. He always hedged. He's always very calculated. And if you've ever seen a clip of Warren in a courtroom, the guy is just so incredibly intelligent. I'm going to move on. I got to move through this episode. It's getting a little long. 3 questions that I wrote down that I want to ask the audience. I like to engage the audience. I see my mom commenting out there. Back when they had landlines, Scott. Yeah, I know. I asked Minash. I'm like, Minash, how old are you? He's 28. What is he asking about landlines for? All right. First question. Where in your business are you saying yes when you should actually be setting a boundary? Ask yourself that. Go through that in your mind. Where in your business are you saying yes when you should actually be setting a boundary? Very important. Second question, are you making decisions to close deals or to protect the business long term? That brings me back to arguments I have with my uncle about the property. He's worried about a fire happening. He's worried about this. He's worried about that. And I'm saying, I don't want to operate in fear, but I'm going to manage the risk. The third question, if something went wrong tomorrow, would your current system protect you or expose you? It's important to understand that. If something went wrong tomorrow, would your current system, your setup, your organizational force field, would that protect you or expose you? All right. And to finish the show today, I always like to have a key lesson or a takeaway. Here's mine today. You don't build a real business by saying yes to everything. You build it by knowing exactly what to say no to. And in this case, you're not rejecting the client, you're redirecting the responsibility. There's a difference. That's the difference. You're not rejecting the client, you're redirecting the responsibility. Because at the end of the day, if the business is about creating value, you're giving people their time back, their peace of mind, a clean home. But none of that matters if one bad situation wipes out everything you've built. And that's the shift I want you to make. Start thinking like an owner, not just somebody trying to book jobs. Owners protect the business. They think about worst case scenarios. They don't operate in fear, but they put systems in place before problems happen. In fact, all of my newer systems are because of problems that arise. That's why I'm always updating the course material. I update it every week. I add new things. I update the documents. I'm discovering new potential threats. Because once the problem happens, it's already too late. So the next time a client says, do you offer pet safe cleaning? Don't panic. Don't guess. Don't try to impress him. Lead. Set the boundary. Explain it clearly. And protect what you're building. Because this isn't just a cleaning business. This is your asset. This is your future. This is your leverage. And one careless decision is all it takes to put it at risk. If you don't define your boundaries in your business, your problems will. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I had fun today. I'll see you guys on Monday.